My desert rose at my house. Maybe you guys can find it. Where am I going? Where am I going? Over here? Oh, okay. Anyway, there it is. It is, whoa, it is my favorite. It's my favorite flowering plant. And even though I love my hibiscus and I love my gardenia, it's my favorite plant because I've never seen anything so unusual. It is dramatic. I mean, look at the bottom of it. Can you see the bottom of it? I don't know if you can see. I'll show it up a little closer later. It has this amazing base, and then it grows in all these directions, and it grows the most beautiful rose petal flowers. Look at the colors. These are all real. Look at how beautiful they are. Isn't it gorgeous? And if you put it in a bigger pot, it gets bigger and bigger, and it just shoots out roses. It's my pick of the hour. If you don't get it, you're crazy because I think it's beautiful. You're gonna love that. We've got all kinds of great stuff coming up in the show. There it is. There, look at it there. See how cool they are? Yeah. My director, Rebecca, just said, okay, I have to buy this right now. It is awesome. It's only $22. It's a steal. We've got that. We've got daylilies, hydrangea, and our best value of the day, our beautiful gardenia or our beautiful hibiscus, are today's special. What a deal. All I gotta say is wow. I own both these. I do. Now, these are the braided versions. I have the braided hibiscus tree, the tropical hibiscus, which I love. Mine's a couple years old. I'll show you pictures of that in just a minute. But I also have the gardenia, only mine doesn't have the braided trunk, which is beautiful. It adds a whole other element to this. It gives you more of just a big head of sort of gardenia flowers, which are so beautiful. When you order today, you will choose either twisted gardenia, or braided gardenia, or the braided hibiscus, all right? When you order, this is what you're going to receive. This is the size of the plant, and if you can get a shot of it, we'll go up and down. It's about 4 feet. This one, we opened it up yesterday, has already sprung a flower from one of the tons of buds, almost said hundreds, that's probably almost 100 buds on this whole thing when you put it together. They are all over the place, and I want you to look, this is what hibiscus is all about. All right, tropical, Hawaii, the islands, right? They are so beautiful. They will grow everywhere in the country. In some parts of the country, we would call them a perennial, like in the southern states where they grow year after year after year. If you're gonna utilize this in the northern states, which it will grow, it'll thrive in the summer, it loves sun, you will probably have to bring it in during the colder months, you know, when it gets 20 degrees Fahrenheit or colder, you don't wanna leave that out. It won't last if you do that, but you will get the most incredible flowers. So, hibiscus or gardenia. This is it when you order it in a box, comes in a big box. This is what it looks like after 1 year, and this is what it looks like after 2 years. Unbelievable. I'll step over to the gardenia. This is what you will get, and I'll ask our camera folks again to come in real close. I want you to look at the buds already on here. Can you see the size of that bud? There it is. Look at this, look at that bud right there. They are already budding. This is loaded with buds already in it, waiting for you to take it out of the container and put it in a new container. We always say put it in a larger one so it'll get some growth spurt. That is it when you order it. This is it after 1 year, and the most incredibly intoxicating aromas from gardenia. And then this is it over here after your second year. They just get better and better and better. So everybody that orders will get our discounted today special price of $53.95, only $10.79 to get it shipped to your house. They're both very popular right now. A lot of people are buying two because they want one on either side of their front porch. But here's how you order it, okay? Go online or however you order and order it. We know based on your zip code where you live, so we will ship it to your area of the country, your growing area, if you will, at the right time. So if you're in the northern part of the country, you'll get yours towards end of April and May. If you're in the middle part of the country, it'll be late March through early to mid-April. If you are living in the southern part of our country, you will be getting it either right away or within the next week or so, all right? And we will ship them out. You pop them right in the ground. Everybody gets a leaf and petal, a pamphlet that tells them everything they need to know on how to grow it, easy. You get our 90-day limited warranty on this. So you got 3 months in which to check it out. If it don't grow, you either get a new one or get your money back. You will love it. It will bring birds. It will bring butterflies. Hummingbirds will love this. They will flip out when they get it. So get it home, $53.95. How many already spoken for, Andre? Over 8,000 people in just a couple of airings have already ordered them. Get yours before they go away. Let me introduce you to our special guest. She is our master gardener and our best buddy up there in Boston. Her name is Rochelle Grayer. Hi, Rochelle.
Good morning. Look at these beautiful trees. I'm so excited that we have them. I know. I love that I have these as well, like you do, in the non-braided variety. And I've had them for a couple years because that's what we used to offer before this. This is the first time, though, by the way, that we've offered the braided gardenia. This is new. So if you have one from before, what you're going to find is this stem is actually much more substantial because instead of one stalk, it's actually, I think it's at least 4. Mine looks like it's 5 stalks all braided together. And then you get this gorgeous top. It is called Amy. That's the name of the variety, which is important for you to know because if you've grown gardenias in the past or currently, you know that their size of the flower, they're not super big. They're maybe like silver dollar sized. The Amy variety is probably double, maybe even a little bit more. They're full 2 to 3 inches wide, which means all of that amazing scent that you get. The reason why you grow gardenias is because they smell so dang good. They are just amazing. Is just concentrated in this even bigger flower. So they're even prettier because they're bigger, they're more showy because they're bigger, and they're more scented. So this thing is really, one of these will just perfume your whole patio, or even one bloom, to be honest, will perfume your whole patio. So let alone the fact that this is going to arrive, like I've got mine here, it's probably got a dozen blooms ready to pop open. Like today, and I just took it out of the box a couple days ago. So, and then we have the hibiscus. I just want to show you this. I have repotted this into a 16-inch pot, and you should as well. Both of these trees are going to come in these good-sized pots. These are substantial, but you're not going to want to leave it in there long term. And the reason for that is because, first of all, these, in order to get them bigger, like you see on the set there, they need more root space. So you need to get them in a bigger pot. Plus, getting it in a bigger pot is going to make it easier for you to constantly be watering and all that, because that bigger amount of dirt and soil is going to mean that it can hold more water and be, there for the plant when the plant needs it, and you don't have to water it like every single day. So put it in a bigger pot. Not a big deal. We have these available. Make sure your pot drains. You don't want a pot that holds water. Make sure it has a hole in the bottom. And then all you have to do is just take it out of the pot that it comes shipped in, and the other one with a little extra potting soil. So easy. You're gonna have this beautiful tree. This is goof proof, as Shannon Fox says. So easy. They're coming with, mine came with blooms blooming. They're not there now. This was a few days. Those blooms, by the way, on the hibiscus, they're not one a day. You get many in a day, but each bloom lasts a day. So it is just throwing out flowers constantly.
We have a couple of pictures of mine at home from last year, and this was after year 1. And you'll see how it grows, because we'll have Andre will pop up those pictures. You'll see every day, you will see more flowers. Like there's a day where I had 2 brand new flowers that day. And there's flowers on the back of that plant as well. And I get the multicolor too. I love it. Like sometimes they're yellow, sometimes they're orange, sometimes they're red. Look, that's the same tree. And look, different colors. Look at the yellow. I mean, they are so exciting to watch. It's like watching your kids grow. You're just, every day you're excited. It is so much fun. We are about even on popularity. Actually, in this show, people are going more for the gardenia. I want to give you an idea of what to do with your gardenias. Can you guys get a shot of me on the table? So this was actually not my idea, but my son Danny's girlfriend, Lily, was like, oh, you need to take the gardenia flowers and you need to put them in water. So all you do is we pick 3 and you put them in like a bowl of water and they will float. All right. And just put them in like that. All right. And just let them sit there and they will completely add that scent to your entire room. So if you want to put them on the dining room table or living room area, they will perpetuate that scent for like 2 days. Unbelievable, and I love that. It's a great idea, and thanks to Lily for coming up with that idea, but it's just something else you could do. I want to show everybody 2 things. One, when you order, you will get the leaf and petal brochure. And inside the brochure, I got too much stuff in my hands. Inside the brochure, quick and easy tips, everything you need to know. There's a quick reference planting guide on the back, which will talk to you about watering, sunlight. Let me just tell you this. We live in Florida. Both my gardenia and my hibiscus get about 3.5 to 4 hours of sun a day. That's all they get. They're thriving. Granted, it's Florida. But if you're living up north somewhere and you're worried, just try to get them in the sun as much as you can. And remember, when it gets cold out, and I'm talking like in the 30s and stuff like that, you do want to either move them inside or to an area where they won't have that extreme temperature. So they're great inside a solarium, great in front of a picture window. Just make sure you take care of them. And want to know the key? One of the keys to my garden success? It's right here. I want you to take a good look at this, all right? This is basically an all-in-one fertilizer for any of your plants. I use it on all my plants because I have all the ones that we're talking about. I've actually even got the daylilies, which are coming up. This is our leaf and petal fertilizer. All you do, I need like a little table. All you do is take one of the little bags out. They're really cool. They have this little cellulose cover, which will just disappear in water. Put them in a gallon of water, shake it up a little bit, and then just pour it on your plants. I do that. Doug, what do we do? About every 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks? Doug's in charge of all the plants and stuff. So about every 2 to 3 weeks, you put a little of that in. I mean, it's not that much work, right? You raised a family maybe, or you raise pets. If you do that, you got to feed them every day, right? This is like once every 3 weeks, so it's not hard. But you will get a lot more bang for your buck if you do that. And Rochelle, the fertilizing is so easy. Like I said, I do it probably every 2.5 to 3 weeks, so it makes life very simple. You're looking at the tropical hibiscus. Everyone, we get a lot of questions like, well, what color flowers? They'll have all the colors, right? They'll have yellow, they'll have pink, they'll have orange, they'll have red. You'll get different variations of those colors. And remember, a braided tree is not easy. They actually take a couple of months to actually teach this sort of, train this tree, literally, to have a braid in the inside. And that's what gives it that great look, right? There's something special about a braided trunk. It's beautiful. Those are close-ups of the flowers. They make wonderful cut flowers. There's the actual trunk of the tree, or trunks of the tree, I should say, as they're braided up. If you get it today, it is only $53.95. The shipping and handling is free. We will ship it, and you will not be charged, by the way, until it ships to your address. It will ship to your address, basically on your growing zone, which we will show you again. There it is right there, beautiful. So never been easier. You'll absolutely love it. It'll be a star attraction. I talked to Doug, who's in charge of all the plants, everything earlier, and he had said, when you get it home, you do want to put it into a larger container, all right? And remember, it will grow based on whether it's confined or not. If you put it in a pot, it's only going to grow a certain level. But if you plant it in the ground, if you put it out in front of your house, if you live in a state where you have decent weather all year, it'll just keep growing. You'll have a tree. You'll have a gardenia tree that's huge, right? So it'll just keep going. But they're ideal as patio plants. They're ideal as things to put out on your deck, around your swimming pool. They love being around the swimming pool, right? They're tropical plants. So you will absolutely love it. It'll bring those islands in. I said earlier, let me know when Rochelle gets back online. All right. Rochelle, I was saying earlier, there's something about it, and I never realized it. My dad knew it, and he loved it. He would walk out to that garden every day. He grew tomatoes, squash, zucchini, squash. He would grow rhubarb. He tried corn, but the deer all ate it in one night, and he's like, that's the last time I'm going to do corn. You know how fast deer can eat corn. But anyway, he would go out there, I told you, with a salt shaker in his pocket, and he would take tomatoes. And it was gross, but he'd go, look, he'd lick the tomato, he'd put salt on it, he'd eat a tomato right in front of me, and he's like, that's why I garden, because you cannot get anything fresher or more beautiful than if you grow it yourself. And that's really what this is all about, right? Creating that same feeling and feeling good about yourself.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. My mom, by the way, she grew up in Montana on a ranch, and she told me that they used to grow sweet onions, and they would do the same thing with onions, literally eat the onions like apples. Isn't that crazy? As kids, like what kids eat onions? Anyway, these are just amazing though. To grow a gardenia, the thing about the gardenia is that it smells so good. It amazes you when you've got that smell. Like, how does nature produce something that's so crazy, crazy fragrant? This is the most fragrant plant flower that you can buy. If you, love the perfume aisle at the department store, as I do, you'll recognize this scent. It's the base of all the finest perfumes in the world. It's amazing. And then, of course, we have the hibiscus tree, which also is so beautiful. All the colors. This is 4 trees, by the way. I just want you to know that. So if ever you have any problems, even if one of them, has an issue, you still have a backup. You're going to get all these blooms. Maybe you suddenly don't have a color, but otherwise you still have this beautiful, beautiful tree. Which I just want to say, you do have a 90-day guarantee with these. So, if you do have a problem, don't worry, we'll take care of it. The thing I want you to know, though, both of these up here in Boston, these are house plants, and that's how I treat them. I put them outside for the summer. I bring them in for the winter. They're beautiful all winter. The hibiscus goes dormant, as we say. And when I say dormant, it means it's not throwing out all the blooms all winter. It does that all summer. And then when I bring it in, it's just green and pretty with that beautiful braided stem and the leaves on top. I mean, it's just very classy looking. Same goes for the gardenia. Beautiful foliage with this, people buy decorator, like those fake topiaries, like at, home goods stores and stuff. This is the real deal. And it's that beautiful topiary shape that we like to have in our houses. It's very decorative and very stylish. So, this is real. This is throwing out that, good oxygen in your house, keeping the air fresh and all of that. And it has beautiful, actual, real, living, legit foliage that, looks nice in your house.
Oh my God.
And isn't, going to get all dusty in the same way.
They are so beautiful. And, I said before, listen, if you can only afford one thing and you want to get our Today Special, it's going to give you so much back. All right. You put very little into it. Trust me. I'm not the kind of guy that spends like an hour gardening every day. Like, I go out, I water my plants. If I got to pick some little dead things off, I may do that. Normally the hibiscus, by the way, the flowers usually just drop. When they're done, they just drop.
Yeah.
They last about a day and then they drop. It's easy. So I just blow those off into the garden, let them just become mulch. It's so easy. And the same with the gardenia flowers. Although I will admit, I cut a lot of the flowers and bring them inside because I always say, not too many, because I still want the pollinators to come. I still want the bees and the hummingbirds to come. But I like to bring some inside. It's like roses. You hate to see a rose die out in the garden. You want to bring it in. You want to share it with people. So I find you do that a lot with the gardenia. As far as the hibiscus, it just sits outside. And my hibiscus is on my deck. You can see the thing from a half a mile away. Like, you're driving away, you can see the color on the deck, and it's all coming from that hibiscus. It's beautiful. I got that. Leaf and Petal has done so many wonderful things with my yard. I got figs. I got daylilies. I got all this stuff I never had a couple years ago. And when I go out and have my coffee, in the morning, or if I go out in the evening with a glass of wine or a beer, I just sit there, because Danny's in college, so I don't really have him around. So it's kind of nice to have something out there that piques my interest and something that I know I'm responsible for. Keep in mind, too, if you're away for a few days, nothing's going to happen to them, all right? If you got to go away for a week, maybe have somebody come water them while you're gone, but they're pretty hardy. And as I said before, if you live up north, just remember, as it gets into September, October, November, whatever, you don't want to leave these things out in the frost. They're not going to survive. You want to bring them inside. You wouldn't leave your kids out there, right? So bring them inside. Put them in a window, if you got a solarium or an area with light, you could put them over there. They will go dormant through however much time it takes. And then you have them to look forward to again the next season. But get them home. We got about 5 minutes remaining in this presentation. Choices are tropical braided hibiscus, multicolor, or the tropical gardenia with those incredible, intoxicating flowers. I would hope everybody who's watching has smelled a gardenia before, but it really is amazing. It's like no other flower. I have my 3 favorite flowers. We should have done that, Lindsay, we should have done that as a trivia. What are guys' 3 favorite flowers? Maybe next time. No, I'll tell you. So my 3 favorites are, I love lilac, is my favorite. It's a New England thing. I love lilac, it's my favorite. I love gardenia, is the other one. And what's the other one that I love? I love lilac, I love gardenia. It's not even rose. Lily of the Valley. which I love as well. You know, the little bells? Oh my gosh, the stuff smells so nice.
That's a New England thing too.
Yeah, they're all New England. I know, a lot of New England flowers. Love those. And by the way, number 4, close, honeysuckle. Love honey. Honeysuckle is like, honeysuckle reminds me of gardenia, doesn't it? It's
really?
There's a sweet smell that gardenia has that honeysuckle that I love. So maybe that's my thing. But anyway.
Yeah, I feel like the lily of the valley reminds me of gardenia because they both have those waxy white flowers. The lily of the valley, of course, like the low ground cover.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I have to say, I have lily of the valley here. I didn't know I had it for a couple years when I first moved in, and it was the smell of it. It's kind of a patch in the woods off the side of my house, and I went looking for the source of that smell. That's how much plants like this smell, and lily of the valley smells less than this.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, you know, how much it smells. Literally, it was drawing me into the woods. Like, where is that beautiful sweet smell coming from? Amazing, intoxicating, you know, the floral thing. If you love that, which I do, that's for me. That is, I want all of it. I want beautiful flowers. I want the sound of the birds. I want some trickling water. I want the soft grass and the, you know, flowy breeze. But I also want it to smell amazing. And that is why you go with the gardenia, is because it is just heavenly, like intoxicating. All
your senses, right? I mean, you want all your visual senses, your sense of smell. You know, we have tomatoes coming up, so it'll be your sense of taste as well. But that's what you want to do. Hey, Rochelle, do me a favor really quickly. We have a lot of people on Facebook, online, and they're asking about watering and sunshine. Will you give us sort of a layout of what to expect?
Yeah, absolutely. So both of these are, I would say, heavy feeders. You can kind of expect that with something that's going to throw out so much bloom. So you want to keep it well watered. You don't want to be soaking anything, like, you know, no sitting in water or anything like that. Make sure that your pots have drainage in the bottom. So you water it, the soil gets nice and moist, but it doesn't sit in the moisture. It drains right out, and then you keep that going. So if you have self-watering containers, that would be great too, but just keep them reliably moist. As far as the sunlight, they need partial to full sun. I had mine, to be honest, last year on a fairly shady, I would say it was a little bit less than partial sun patio, and they were fine. So I do think, though, that if I'd had given them a little more sun, they probably would have bloomed more. So I would go with that, you know, not shady, but partial to full sun. Most patios, you know, as the sky kind of changes through the day, you've got the sun going overhead, you do get that 3 or 4 hours, and that's really all they really need. So they're going to be fine with that.
Yeah, that's, like I said, there's a big house to my right, and it's like a 4-story one. You know, I have a little beach sort of cabana style house, so mine's a little bit, you know, mine's just one level. But I get sun for about 3.5 to 4 hours, depending on what time of year it is. So and that's always plenty. Granted, like I said, we're in Florida, but don't get beat up too much over that. But I agree. I water mine probably, and also, you know, we get a lot of rain here in Florida, but I probably water mine 3 to 4 times a week, maybe 3 or 4. It's one of those things, if I miss a day or two, it doesn't bother me. I'm like, whatever, they're fine. I can look at the soil and see when it's dry, so I know, and that's a really good indicator. But other than that, and the fertilizer, oh, by the way, I'm gonna pull the fertilizer out one more time. Get this. All right, you know, and I'm doing it because I'm trying to do you a favor here. I never fertilized until Doug got me a container of this. He's our leaf and pillow guy. Stuff is magic. You take one little packet, all right, and they're little soft packets, put them in a gallon of water, mix it up, and do that about once every 3 weeks. That's what I do. And I am telling you, the difference in the number of blooms and blossoms and the health of your plant, unbelievable. I mean, it's a little thing to do. It's not that hard. Yeah. I do it, I mean, you agree, right, Rochelle? We do that like every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. Absolutely, especially when you have them indoors in the winter. They love being outside, and just to give them that extra oomph, not just for these, but for any of your houseplants, all the houseplants, you know, they appreciate that when, you know, they're maybe getting a little less light or a little less fresh air or whatever through the winter when you have them indoors. So yeah, definitely with the plant food, it's a great thing. And also you can use it on your vegetables and some of the other things that are coming up. Oh, but I wanted to say, you know, with the watering, put it in a bigger pot. So 2 things will happen when you put these in a bigger pot. This is a 16-inch pot. This is perfect size if you just want to grow it, you know, kind of what we have in that year 2 size. But if you want a bigger tree, put it in a bigger pot, maybe a 20 or 24-inch pot, and then you can also plant other things around it. But here's the other thing that'll happen. That greater amount of soil will hold more water, so you might find that you don't have to water it quite as often.
Yeah, I got a big pot.
The bigger pot helps you out with the watering.
If you show we'll show that one more time. There's a picture of my gardenia at home last year, and what I did is it's actually gone through 2 pot changes. The first time I put it in one that was a little bit bigger, but not enough, and then I actually went the larger pot, and it's done much better since I put it in a bigger pot. It's got to get an idea. Yeah. That's like the same size pot as our big one here, so you get an idea, and you can get those at the garden store. We have them here on HSN.com. You can pick those up as well, but get it home. We have about a minute remaining. So many of you are ordering it. I'm so happy for you. It's gonna bring so much joy to your life to bring this home. Over 9,000 people have picked it up today already in either a gardenia. Wow. Some people have gotten one of each. You can't beat it. And I would recommend, if you can do both, it's such a great deal because they are so different. You know, even though they're so different. Mm-hmm. They're both tropical, but one is loaded with color and doesn't have a lot of fragrance. The other is soft, elegant, beautiful, and is loaded with intoxicating fragrance, so you can't go wrong. We're just running you through all the different colors of the flowers. Get it home, you're gonna absolutely love it. I love this 3rd hour of our show today because it's all about flowers, it's all about plants. We got tomatoes coming up, which are ideal. How about daylilies? You wanna see what daylilies look like? Are those the daylilies? Oh, let me show you a picture of them. And then look at all the other colors, you get all that. When you pull back, watch. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 6 of those? Where's Doug? Oh yeah, you get all 6. You do. You get 6. You get 6 plants. Everybody loves. Look at the price, under 20 bucks. All right, grab those. We've also got the desert patio roses coming up as well, and we got some yummy tomatoes coming your way too. Stick around. Be right back with me in the garden.
Ingredients that are rich in tradition, born from the clouds and foothills of the Himalayan mountains. Clean beauty that protects, nourishes, and repairs hair and skin. Shop the Tweaked by Nature Beauty Collection on HSN and HSN.com.
There is nothing quite like shopping with a friend.
So pull up a chair and shop with us.
We'll be dishing the scoop on what's hot.
Catch you up on what you've missed.
And share some of our favorite discoveries.
Come shop with us every Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
My singular goal is to improve the quality of people's lives. Everything we do is intended to be unlike any other company of our kind. We just make exceptional vitamins so you could have exceptional health. It's not important that you get the products I'm offering, but it's very important that you get the information I'm sharing, because information is the key to being a healthy person.
Is this making anybody else hungry? Coming close. Look at these tomatoes. You know, tomatoes is one of the first things, it's actually the first thing my dad used to grow in his garden. He loved his tomatoes more than anything else. And there's nothing like a garden tomato. Let me just tell you this. If you gave me a piece of squash from right out of the garden and a piece of squash that was in the store, I'd have a hard time probably noticing, right? Because there's a lot of fruits and vegetables that doesn't matter. But if you have fresh things that come out of the garden like tomatoes, right? Especially things like tomatoes, corn on the cob, right? Things like that, when they come out of the garden, they've never been tastier or sweeter because you're getting them at the perfect time and you're getting them right off the vine. So what you're getting today here is a 3-piece, what we call the Tomato Lover's Delight tomatoes. You're getting 3 varieties. You're getting the Berkeley tie-dye, and you'll notice the Berkeley tie-dye are the ones with the little striations in them, right? They got little stripes on them. You're getting the gold medal, and you're getting the pink Brandywine, which are absolutely beautiful. You're getting all 3 varieties, all right? This is what you'll get, just so you know. You'll get the little seedling plantling right there, little plant right there, ready to go in the ground. So it's already established. You know where it came from. It's not been sitting in a garden center for 12 days, getting watered, hopefully every day, but who knows? You're getting the best stock, all right? So if you want to get it, the item number on this is 745426, and we've got Rochelle back to talk to us about tomatoes.
Yeah,
Yummy.
so these are all really great varieties. They're all great eating tomatoes. This is the reason why you grow tomatoes, is because they taste amazing. Honestly, they don't taste anything like what you buy in the grocery store, unless you're buying at maybe a farmer's market. They are like a whole different vegetable coming straight out of the garden when they have that little bit of warmth from the sun. Like you said, Guy, your dad eating them with some salt right there.
Oh, yeah.
They are truly delicious. It is the, I associate them with summer, and it's just a whole different way of eating for me because the tomatoes. So if you've never grown your own vegetables, you've got to try tomatoes. Tomatoes are not difficult. These are what we call indeterminate varieties of tomatoes. You're going to get 3. All of them are varieties that get very big, like sandwich size, one slice, and you got your whole BLT right there. And what we mean by indeterminate means that when they're determinate tomatoes, it means they're going to throw out all their fruit basically all at once, and then they're going to be done. These are indeterminate varieties, so that means they're going to throw it out and keep going and going and going, and they're just going to have a consistent amount of tomatoes going all season. So which is nice, because sometimes when you get all of those all at once, you're like, what am I going to do with all these tomatoes? You end up canning things, having to do other stuff, giving them all away. You're probably going to give these away too, because they're ginormous tomatoes that you're going to get off. Honestly, it's like the best little gift to take to a friend's house if you're going over for cocktails or something like that. Bring tomatoes. They're joyful. Everybody loves fresh from the garden tomatoes. Everybody's impressed by fresh from the garden tomatoes. Like, you grew these. That is the best thing, when you can say, yes, I did. Yeah. And these plants, by the way, so these, they're vegetables, they're annuals. These plants, this is what you're going to get, is about this size. They're great plants. These will be what you're looking at right there on the set. These giant, they grow 5-6 feet tall. You will need support for these to get, just this amazing collection of tomatoes. You can grow them in a pot. That's perfectly reasonable. I would not put more than 1 in a pot, because they do get rather big. These are going to just throw out so many tomatoes. You're going to want to have some structure around them, because some of those are like 2 pounds.
Yeah.
They're so big, they can really, you need some stakes just to hold the plant up when it's holding on to a fruit like that. I mean, it's crazy.
So yummy and so good for you and so fresh. All right, there's mine. When I first planted them last year, I had loads of tomatoes last year, more than I could ever eat. I was giving to the neighbors and stuff like that, which is nice. But if you want to grab it, item number again is 745426. That's the item number there. We've got so many more things. By the way, this is how your tomatoes will grow once they start to grow. And by the way, we do also have the tomato towers available, which is a really good idea. I finally broke down last year and got one, because the year before I was trying to wire them up and it was a pain. We have these towers available. It's a veggie tower. It's actually, this is it right here. So when I bought, I'll show it to you right here. So there it is. It's easy to put together, and what you do is, as your tomato grows, you add more levels to support it. Oh. It's brilliant. I love this thing. I bought it. It's fantastic. So if you want to get that, gives you an idea how tall your tomatoes will grow. I'll put it right next to that one right there. So it really gives you a great framework, because when you got a tomato this big, it's got to have someplace to hang, otherwise it's going to fall on the ground. So absolutely, you want to make sure you got that going for you. All right, 684192. Here comes my favorite. You ready? And by the way, my director, Rebecca, we talked about it before. She's like, oh my gosh, I just saw that. It's beautiful. She bought it. I know it's one of your favorites too, Rochelle, and it is a customer favorite as well. It is my pick of the hour to show you how beautiful it is. First of all, this is, Doug, is this the size they're going to receive? Yeah, so this is the size you will get, all right? It's already established, ready to go, all right? After not very much time, it will turn into this. And I don't know if you can see what's going on down below, but the root system down below holds a ton of water. It's a desert rose, so it's almost like a cactus will hold water in its root. See how big they are? It's such a cool part of the plant. And I will tell you this too. Last year, we had a windstorm here in Florida, and my desert rose was like this big. I had arms on it like this. It fell over, and about 4 of the arms broke off. I was amazed. It just came back. It's better than it's ever been. In fact, I think we have a picture of mine, Andre and Rebecca, maybe somewhere, my desert rose. So this is mine, and I am telling you, it's my pride. All right, it's behind the graphic, but we'll move the graphic so you can see it. There we go. It is and I put like little shells in there and little fun. It is my favorite plant on my patio, all right? Love my gardenia, love my hibiscus, but this one is the most unique. It's the one that's got the most dramatic display and everybody falls in love with it. It's also one of those ones that the bigger the pot, the bigger it will get, which I love too, but this has been my favorite since I first got it. Rochelle, and I know you love it too.
I know. You know what I find so amazing before, the times when we didn't get to come down into the studio, I was down in St. Pete, where you guys are. And you know where the art museum is? On the water side, they have some of these growing in the ground.
Wow.
They are huge trees and they're the same thing. So if you live in an area where you can plant these in the ground, which is basically to say you're a tropical zone where you don't get any frost, otherwise consider this to be a house plant. You can plant these in the ground. They will live a very, very long time and they will get very, very big and they will maintain what you get in the pot, which is that kind of like Jurassic plant meets bonsai sort of look, which is so unique, so eye-catching. I mean, it's definitely a conversation piece. This is one you want to have, kind of maybe in the middle of your, patio table or something. Because look at that. I mean, it is.
See, yeah, that's what happens. Look at it.
They're so exotic and interesting, and they have such character and uniqueness, each one, because the roots as well as the flowers are equally interesting. I mean, that's not a thing you see on plants very often, where you're just as fascinated with the root structure as the flowers up above.
It's almost like a mangrove. Like when you see mangroves, how those weird roots grow. It's like, I guess, the reason it's a desert rose is because, it's a type of desert plant. But anyway, it will find the water wherever it needs to get it. I water this plant less than any of my other plants. It just doesn't. It doesn't take up a lot of water when I pour it in. So I'm like,
no, it doesn't.
Yeah,
this is definitely a plant for somebody who can be neglectful. If you have that tendency, it's okay. There are plants for you too. This is one of them. You really want to get the desert rose because all of what you're seeing there, all those crazy roots, those are just holding on to the water and storing it. So these are used to being in areas where water isn't terribly easily had, or very infrequent. So, that's a nice plant that's adapted for that. And if you're that kind of gardener or need a little practice being a more attentive gardener, this is a great plant for you. You're going to have success, even if you, forget something and forget to, water it. It also, by the way, loves the heat and loves the sun. It is like a cactus, as you said, Guy. It very, very tolerant. And the thing is too, and when we talk about like new gardeners and people who are maybe nervous around plants and nervous that they're going to kill something, we tend to send them to things like cactus and whatever. And so everybody has all these cactus. Everybody has sort of the same thing. This is like, you get to have something really unique and really wow. And, even if you have a very serious gardener in your life, they're going to walk into your house and think you're like this hot stuff gardener because you have such a unique, cool plant. And you didn't, you're still, still learning and figuring it out. But this plant is doing all the hard work for you.
I tell you, it was hard to kill. I dumped it off about an 8-foot deck, landed outside. It was laying there for like 6 hours before I even knew because it was a windstorm. And I'm like, oh no, my favorite plant. I scooped it up, put it back in the pot, put it back, and within 3 months, it was fine. It was like it just took its time to come back.
Perfect.
And all the arms grew back, which like 3 of them broke off. The arms actually came out of another area, and they grew back, which was really amazing, too. I think what I love about it, though, most is the contrast between the flowers and the leaves. It is, obviously, I like the root system. I think that's really neat. But it's a really deep, dark green, and then the two-tone flowers, they're almost like 3-tone. They're pink, red, and white. They are so beautiful when they come out. And let me ask you this, because I don't know. Could this also be an indoor plant, Rochelle?
Yes, that's where I this is just like all the other stuff. I consider this a house plant, except in the summer, I move it outside. It's so happy. I'm up here in Boston, where it would not be frost tolerant at all. So you cannot grow this outside year round in a cold climate or where, you have a frost. So that's a big chunk of the country, the vast majority, except for, where you are in Florida, southern Texas, and California kind of thing. But yeah, bring it in. It's like a bonsai, basically. That's kind of the size of mine. And it sits very happily in a sunny window, and it does like the sun. I will say that. This is one that you want to keep in a bright spot inside. Okay. and yeah, off you go. It's going to be very happy. Same thing, easy to grow inside.
All right, and remember, you will get the leaf and petal brochure to go with it. It'll be delivered based on your growing zone, easy, nothing. I mean, this is really one of the most forgiving plants you will buy. So if you do not have a green thumb, this is a good one for you. All right, I'm gonna step over and we're gonna talk about daylilies. We've been selling these ever since we mentioned them in the beginning of our show. People are going nuts for it. Why? First of all, daylilies are beautiful. Daylilies are just a massive color display. You're gonna basically get 6 separate plants for $19.95. It's a this day only. You'll get 3 different varieties. You're gonna get the Fragrant Returns, you're gonna get the Pardon Me, and then you're gonna get the Stella d'Oro. All right, so Stella d'Oro over here. I'm gonna take a guess at whatever, these are probably the Fragrant Returns, but you also get Pardon Me. So you get 6 plants in all these colors for $19.95. Rochelle, this is ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. You probably know, again, being from New England, the daylilies up here, but they grow throughout the country. I just know they're particularly popular here up in New England because we love to plant them along stone walls and fence lines, and they literally do grow into hedges. They live for generations. We're not talking like, 5 or 10 years.
Right.
These will live for so long, and they just come back again and again and again. You're going to get 6 of these. They will look basically like what you see on the set in the first year. You cannot go wrong with these. This is what it's going to look like when it comes. There's a little green bit, and then you've got the roots down below. I'm telling you, you can plant this thing upside down, and it will be fine. There is a wild variety that we have up here in New England. People call them ditch lilies because literally you can throw it in the ditch and it'll grow. So this has that same sort of vigor. It's so easy to grow, but these have the beautiful blooms. The thing about the Stella d'Oro, this is the most popular daylily for people to plant. And the reason for that is that it was bred to just throw out blooms and throw them out and throw them out a day in and day out. This starts kind of midsummer and it will go right through the fall. They just get blooms and blooms and blooms, and it'll look just like that on that beautiful grassy foliage. So the Stella d'Oro is that really gold color. Then the Pardon Me is the same stock as the Stella d'Oro, but we were able to breed it to have these beautiful burgundy color blooms. So it really pretty with the deep yellow centers. They go really well together, the Stellas and the Pardon Me. And then what's really special about Fragrant Returns is that most daylilies don't have a fragrance, but Fragrant Returns, they bloom like Stella d'Oros, but they have the fragrance. They're a lighter, brighter yellow, a lot more fresh, zesty kind of yellow. Yeah. And you get the scent, which is, for me, like the all-around winner. So I love all of them. They look great together. You can literally plant them anywhere. They're going to want the sun. They're the most low maintenance. I mean, I'm telling you, they will be fine wherever you plant them. They will slowly increase in their size. They'll spread out. They're not aggressive. But, a couple years from now, you'll be able to give them away. I literally dig up and give away, I put them on a tarp actually on my driveway, and I text all my friends and say, come and get them, because I just get so many after, a few years that, I'm constantly just giving them away. I fill tarp loads of little baby daylilies and, send them off to new homes. They are wonderful for that. So if you're looking for something that you can expand upon, or that, maybe over the years you want to have a whole hedgerow of them, these are so easy to do that with. Easy. I
love the greenery below it. It just sets the table for these flowers to come shooting through. Give you an idea of the 2 different colors. The Stella d'Oro is the one that's down on the end there. It's a little bit more of a deep gold. And then you see in the middle, the middle one is is the middle Pardon Me? Yeah, middle's the Pardon Me.
Yes.
And then over here, this is the Fragrant Returns, and it gives you an idea. It's a brighter yellow. I love both shades of yellow, and I love the fact that in the little, the Pardon Me, it's got the little yellow eyeball too in the middle, so you get more of that great color. Mm-hmm. Love it.
Yeah, they go really well together. And you're right. I gotta say, grassy foliage is one of my favorite things, both as a gardener myself. I just love touching grassy foliage. It just feels nice, and it has that beautiful waterfall look. This grassy foliage is so healthy. It's very strappy and strong and sturdy. It's not going to get all brittle and dried or anything like that. It gives such a nice contrast, not only to the flowers that are the daylilies, but anything else around it. It's, you know, it's got that different look, which, oh, and I want to tell you another thing, 2 things about the daylilies. First of all, daylilies, they're named daylilies because much like the hibiscus, they throw out new blooms every day. So those blooms, they last one day, and then the next day, it's a whole new bloom. So if you want to, and I love this, if you can actually eat daylilies. They have a sweet flavor. You can put them, I like to put them on top of salads. They just add, you know, as you're entertaining this summer, eating out on the patio, pick a couple daylilies. I mean, they're going to die back at the end of the day anyway, and throw them in your salad. Maybe cut up a few little petals. Give your salad a little, you know, colorful zhuzh, you know, and you know, your guests will be like, wait a minute, what am I eating? And it's daylilies. They have a little bit of a sweet flavor. Lovely.
I didn't know that. All right, now I got to plant daylilies because, you know, I love to eat. I love to eat anything out of the yard. So that's a great thing. You know, I actually have, when I moved into the property I live at now, and I've lived there about 10 years, there are some lilies that people planted around. I see them popping up and they're so beautiful. They're like purple, and they're in the side yard. So they must have put them it could have been from an owner 3 owners ago. I don't know. But what's nice is they just come up. I don't do anything to them. You know, they're in the grass area, so they get water from the lawn and from Mother Nature. So, but they're like a friend that comes back every year, and you absolutely love it. You'll get all 6 of these. All right, you get the bare root, pop them in, and just wait for the magic to happen. That's it. Yeah.
You can't go wrong with daylilies. If you're, again, this is kind of like the adenium, the desert rose. These plants are no-fail plants. You cannot kill these. You cannot go wrong with them. Of course, they do come with the 1-year warranty, the 1-year guarantee, so call us if you do have a problem, but I don't know who has a problem with the daylilies. They are so simple. Put it in the ground. Just let that little bit of green stick up as once you plant it, or even if you bury that just a tiny bit, they'll be fine. They will go and go and go. I'm not joking, for decades. Your children will still be looking at the daylilies that you planted. Yeah, so
I love that.
Don't worry.
I love it, and I love how you said that, because you're right. That's what it's all about. You know, it's about creating memories with your family, being in the yard. I mean, I can remember every square inch of the house I grew up in based on the yard, the garden, where we used to play football. You know, every inch of it, and a lot of it was just the landscaping, right? The reason I love lilacs, my father had lilacs all over the property. He loved it. It's my mom's favorite flower, so he planted them everywhere, and they were so beautiful. So get them home. You're going to love them. We're extremely busy, 695-746. You get all 6 plants, 2 of each variety, so 6 plants in all in that bare root form. Just pop them in the ground, and you'll be good to go. All right, hey, our today's special still available. Our beautiful twisted braided gardenia or our braided hibiscus, both still available. Multicolor, 4 different color flowers in the hibiscus. And then, of course, the beautiful, incredibly fragrant, intoxicating scent, I should say, of our gardenia. They're going to be shipped to you almost 4 feet tall, ready to go. Put them in another planter and just give them some water and watch the magic happen. You'll have buds you'll have buds on the tree already. And they'll start popping within a week or 2. Unbelievable, so grab it home. Item number 095754, and still only $53 for today, so get it home with free shipping and handling. Everything free shipping and handling with flowers. All right, only one airing of our berry white hydrangea. Probably one of the most beautiful plants you can grow. Another showpiece in your yard. You will love it. It's got this intoxicating sort of aroma, this look. I love the multicolored flowers. They get frosty white on top, and then they graduate down to a light pink and then a deeper pink. They are a long-lived perennial, year after year after year come back. They have sturdy stems, which are great if you want to do cut flowers. They're ideal for that. They make very impressive border plants, but they are beautiful. When you order today, this is what you will get right here, and this, before time, will become this amazing, amazing hydrangea. Rochelle, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's just unbelievable when you look at it in person how beautiful this is.
Yeah, no, they really, really are. This is a paniculata variety of hydrangeas. So there's a few different major groups of hydrangeas. This one, paniculata, is, I love them because they don't have the trouble that some people have with some of the other varieties. These are woodier stems, so they're a little bit tougher, and they always bloom because they're blooming on that new wood. You really are never going to have the problem. You hear people ask a lot of times, like, why aren't my hydrangeas blooming? These ones never have that problem because they're throwing out that new wood and they bloom on that new wood, whereas other ones, you know, sometimes rely on second 2-year-old wood, and then that gets damaged and then it doesn't bloom. So look at those. They start out, when you first see them blooming, they go through this color change. So they start out really pretty white. As they age, by the way, these blooms last for weeks. So as they age on the plant, they start to flush to a pink, a light pink. And then as they get older, the blooms age even more. They turn to this deeper red, pinky red. Similarly, if you cut these, I love to cut these. They're beautiful in arrangements, but even after the arrangement, they were literally dry in your arrangement. And as they're drying, they're going to go to that red. They're gorgeous as dry flowers.
Yeah.
I have bouquets of them. They're stunning, and they're so easy. You have to do essentially nothing. And by the way, they'll also dry on the shrub. So even if you don't pick them and you leave them in through the winter, you'll have those beautiful, dark, dried blooms on the plant late into the season. So, I mean, this is just such a winner of a plant.
Yeah.
They bloom like that, where you have blooms everywhere. They're just covered in the blooms. It's not like you have one or two. They'll get about 4 to 5 feet in both directions. So you want to plan for that. These are definitely a substantial shrub. Put it at the back of the border. Put it, you know, in a place where a hedge. These are great hedges.
Sure.
I have a similar one, not this exact one, right outside the door here. A whole hedge of them. I couldn't love them more. They're so easy.
Yeah, and they have
easy.
There's like an ethereal quality to them. You know what I mean? Don't they look like clouds? They almost look like puffy clouds.
They do.
Of color. They're going to stand out amongst all your other plants. I mean, so beautifully because they're texturally different. They just have a whole different look. They have that nice deep green foliage, and you can see just like little puffs of little clouds of great color. $26.95 or $96 on sale. Free shipping and handling. We'll ship it right out. If you live in the southern part of our country, we'll get you right out right away. Otherwise, we'll ship it right out to your perfect growing season. So if you order it and you live way up north, you're not going to be charged until probably end of April, May, and then your plant will come. So if you don't get it right away, remember, we're doing that on purpose. We don't want you to get the plant before you have to plant it. So it's a great way to be able to order. You're going to love that. We're going to wrap up on that 745-557. Remember, we have our $10 HSN credit card offer. If you get a new card, you can put $10 in your account, and you can use it on anything. I will tell you one thing I'm buying today, the last item in the show. All right, and I can't use the $10. I already have a HSN credit card, so I can't use it. But I am buying these because this is a color you do not see very often. This is actually a true, what I would call magenta, which is that bright reddish pink. These are daisies. Now, this variety of daisy is actually what we call a dwarf variety. I love that. I love that it's compact, but if you come from up above and you look down at the color of these daisies, for only $17.95, and you get all 3 plants. So you'll get 3 plants to start out. They're easy to grow, and they are less than $20. They're less than $18 with free shipping. You should be buying these right now. I'm going to buy them as soon as I get off the set. Rochelle, these are like jaw-dropping color. Gorgeous.
Yeah, these, and this, by the way, this is the first time we've ever offered these.
Ever.
So I love that when we can bring something brand new. No, the color is what's so amazing about these. These are annuals, so they are not going to come back year in and year out, but these are going to throw out so many blooms. That's why we love annuals, is because they are blooming machines, and they just fill our gardens with colors. Look at that beautiful color. For me, I think this is absolutely the perfect combination to put with that hibiscus. If you in a bigger container, put these around the base, the pink, I mean, you will just have fireworks of color, both in the 4 different colors of the hibiscus up top in the today's special, and then these down below. These are just so pretty. They're these airy little daisies. I mean, the daisies are everybody's favorite plant, whether they're pink or white or yellow, it doesn't matter. We just have an absolute romantic love for that simple, you love me not sort of petaled flower. It's so classic and beautiful, but this color is, it's just, I mean, wow, look at the color. It's so intense. It really goes well with the hibiscus, that intensity, that, you know, grab your eye, really make it beautiful. You're going to have a lot of fun, by the way. You could plant just these in a container, so that's all it is. And they will fill out, you know, one of these 16-inch pots. I would probably put all 3 in one pot. Or, you know, if you are into designing your own containers, these are just a really great container plant. You can mix and match it with other things. And really, you know, this is that pow color, you know, like wow moment that you're going to have in your container, that really eye-catching thing. So, you know, I'd be inclined to pair it with like some grasses and maybe other pretty foliage stuff, because you really don't need much else when you have daisies like these.
I have nothing like this in my yard. Nothing even close to this color. I mean, I have the hibiscus, but, you know, those are more like tropical colors, like, you know, more like fruit colors, like orange and cherry and, you know, and lemon, you know, those are those colors. And the gardenia's white. I have the desert rose, which is pink. I don't have anything which is magenta. And I'll hold that over again. I mean, I have nothing that is this color. And look at how deep and dark and green the foliage is, which really allows your flowers to pop. I never knew anything about that until I started working with Miss Rochelle, and she got me smart really quick as to, you know, the kind of, well, the contrast of color and all the things that you're looking for. I didn't even know half the things she told me, you know, that in many plants, you know, the leaves smell better than the flowers. I never even thought about that, but it's true in a lot of plants. So you learn a lot, but look at that color. Wouldn't you love that? You know what I'm thinking, Rochelle? One of these for each side of your entryway, right, into your home.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, and they're so easy. And yeah, I mean, just as simple. These are going to love a nice little sunny spot. They're simple. That's another thing we love about daisies. Not only do they have that simple classic flower, but they're simple to grow. They're very reliable. We love them. We come back to them year in and year out because daisies are just daisies. Like, you just cannot go wrong with a good classic daisy, especially one that's just like the most gorgeous, eye-catching magenta that you've ever seen. That's why I love these, because they're the color. It's really about the color of these.
You know
that's why they're special.
Bottom line, Rochelle, they make you happy. Don't they? Daisies make you happy. I mean, they're daisies. That's what they're.
A pot of these. Yeah, you know, I like think about giving people directions to my house, and I always say I'm the house with the barn on the side of the driveway. But like, if I lived in a different neighborhood, I had a pot of these, I'm the house with the magenta daisies, because they're just so
That's going to be me. That's going to be me from now on. My house is the one with the magenta daisies in the front. Very nice. Hey, Rochelle, I always look forward to seeing you every week. Thank you again for all your wonderful contributions. You're amazing. I'll see you next week, all right?
All right, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, hon, take care. If you want the daisies, Happy Daisies, 745-325 is the item number there. Thank you so much for joining me on Guys in the Garden. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Now that's clever. Stick around, we got more great stuff for you as our day continues right here at HSN.
Back.
Let's do it.
Relax. And enjoy the thrill of finding something new.
It could sell out right now.
Join Colleen Lopez as she shares new favorites and top finds you'll love. Shopping with Colleen, Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. It's time to prepare your home indoors and out. So whether you're doing some early spring cleaning, trying out new recipes, or staying entertained at home, find just what you need during our Spring Home and Cleaning event on HSN and hsn.com.
Food has always been my passion, but the truth is, even in the world's best kitchens, the tools can really make or break a chef. That's why I've developed this incredible, innovative line for HSN. It makes the prep easy, and it also makes the cooking a whole lot of fun. From my kitchens to your tables. Let's turn the everyday into gourmet.
I
I've always had a great love for animals. We have Leaping Bunny status, and everybody that works at Pry is passionate about animals. Pry Beauty has married the very best from nature, the Pry extract, as well as using cutting-edge ingredients, the best science, and our team coming from all these mega industry giants. We were excited to bring all women that top technology as well as this magical root.
And welcome again. Nice to have you shopping with me today. My name is Bobby Ray Carter. So this is an entire hour of Pry Beauty, and with Pry and with Kathy, you are really getting the opportunity to experience the best of the best. I mean, all of Kathy's team come from the giants in the industry, and I want to show you a couple of things that are coming up, including, oh yes, you already love the amazing Ageless Throat. This is another cream that I use every day. It is not only the hero product, obviously, as you can see, it was one of the Beauty Choice Awards. It is over 6 million users, optimizing and